Make a video just came recently, and I thought, if I spend so much time and effort to write a book, why can I have half an hour video dedicated to it, explaining what in it, just to help you to make a better decision when you find the book and find this video, so you'll have a better idea what's in it before you want to buy it. So often people ask me what is my favorite book from all the 5 I wrote so far, and to answer this question it's very difficult because I don't think I have an answer. I don't think I have a favorite one. It's like children. I don't have favorite children. I love both of my daughters equally. They're very different, and I love them a lot, even though it might be different. But no one of them is favorite. They're amazing and wonderful, and I love them with all my soul. So I would say the same about the books. They're very different, but I love them equally. They represent different stages of my personal growth. And the first one is really my life story. It's how a Ukrainian-born guy ends up in Peruvian Andes serving Huachuma medicine, and all the path that I had to move, that I have to go through many countries, living in different countries, learning different language, different culture, and then finally end up in Peru, where I feel at home, first time in my life. This is my fourth country, fourth language, fourth beginning. So before sharing what's in it, I think it's important to say a few words about how it came about. So it was 2010 when me and my wife got married. It was very shortly, a few months after I moved to Peru in 2009. Actually, we got married in 2010, in December 2010. No, I'm sorry, 2009. I came to Peru 15th of April 2009, which today I celebrate 16 years of living in Peru. And then we met in October same year and married 2 months later. So it was 2010 when we already started Huachuma Wasi, our healing center, our home. Of course, that's a whole another video, just talking about that. I just want to touch about it here, just to give it the context. So we just started our life here. She already was pregnant. We were expecting our first daughter, Mia. And I felt like I have a book in me that I want to share with people. Especially people, at that time it was more kind of, I feel like urgent to help people who trapped in cults, because I'm an ex-cult member. I kind of, you can call it a cult survivor. I was in a cult. It's called Fellowship of Friends in Northern California, in Oregon House, about an hour and a half from Sacramento North. And there are many chapters in the book about my life there and everything that happened there. But that's of course only a part of my path. There's so much more that happened before and after, but that's nevertheless it's an important part of my life and my path that actually formed what I am today in a very specific way. It's an art conversation. But just for now, I want to say that I just felt that by sharing this with people, I can help people. I can help people find freedom from mind control ideologies, cults, and show them a true path to self-knowledge that I found for myself through plant medicine. So it was very important for me just to share it, as it happened, as I lived this through. But I didn't have any connections. I didn't know, what to do with it. Even if I wrote, what do I do with it? Who do I give it to? I didn't have any money. We were poor at the time, completely. Just starting my new life in Peru, zero money. We just built the house, We just built the house, and at the time we didn't have doors in the house. When I wrote this book, we didn't have doors in the house. Think about this. My first clients came from Russia, and they said, like, "Hey, Sergey, where are the doors?" And I said, "We don't have doors. You will pay me for staying with us, and I will buy doors." And that's how it went, So it was difficult time for us, And then, I got a call from someone, and they said, like, "Hey, they just heard about me doing Huachuma medicine and this, and there was another Russian guy from Moscow, and, I speak Russian, so I'm Ukrainian. I'm not Russian, I'm Ukrainian. There's right now it's a big mess there, but, from at that time it was all Soviet Union. We are all from Soviet Union. It's all like one big country, So Ukrainian really didn't mean much back then, So technically I'm Ukrainian. I'm born in Ukraine, but Russian is our mother tongue. So, and the guy said, "Okay, I would like to meet you and have medicine with you." I only have one day. At that time, I still was doing like single ceremonies, And we had a ceremony. It was very beautiful, and he was very touched, and he said, "It's amazing, I will come back." So, okay. And as we were talking, I was asking him about his life and what is he doing there, and he said he was a publisher in Moscow. And I said, "Oh, that's interesting, because I thought to write a book, and I just didn't know what to do with it, where to send it to. I didn't want to do like a cold knocking on the doors, like, hey, here is the book." I just wanted to kind of have a direct approach to this. So he said, "No problem, you just write it, and if there is a content, we'll publish it." I said, "Okay." I was very hopeful, very inspired, so I started writing. I just sat down and I just wrote it in 6 weeks, like, cold, 3 in the morning. I remember my hands were like cold typing, I think it was the winter months, June, July, and nights are cold here during this time. Here it's a winter. It's the opposite. So I wrote a book, I sent it to him. He loved it. He read it and he said, "Wow, this is a book. We're publishing it." And you can imagine, how happy I was. Just kind of the first shot, like the first try, and boom, there you go. We'll publish in a month, and he had connection all over the whole country there. The book will be in 100 stores. It will change our life financially. It will help us a lot, and my story will reach many people, which really was the purpose of that. I was very happy. So we were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then 3 months later, I wrote him and said, "Hey, what's the status on my book? Why it takes so much time to correct my language, And he said, "No, don't worry, everything is good. I gave it to my best editor in our company, and she will take care of it, and it will be soon published. Don't worry." Some time passed again, and I said, "Hey, I would like to see what's happening there," because I was getting the feeling that something is not quite right there. Something is like the intuition was that something wasn't right in this process. I wasn't sure exactly what, but I was feeling that they are messing with my text. And after like a week, he finally sent me the file. So I was very happy. I told my wife, okay, I'm going to second floor to my office and I will read the edit. I was very excited. So I went up, started reading, and I read about 30 pages and I felt like I was stopped in my heart, like literally. I felt like crying, I didn't. I don't cry easy, but that's how it felt. It felt like really I was hurt in my heart. So basically, she just told my story. I couldn't recognize myself in it anymore. There wasn't me there. There was lies there. In the 30 pages, can you imagine the whole book? 300 pages. I don't even know what was there, I never read that. But in those 30 pages, there was so much lies. I just felt sick of that. And I thought how a book titled Path, Seeking Truth in the World of Lies can be full of lies. Think about it. You can't have this, So I came down very upset, and my wife saw me. It's like, hey, what happened? And I said, like, hey, they just told my story. I can't publish this. My wife got upset, she started crying. Because me, I was already 1 year old. And she's with my daughter, and I have $30 in my pocket. That's all we had that time. $30. And if I say yes to this book, money is coming like in a month. And more money coming. So we will be relaxed after that, And I said I can't do it because, if I would just write just a novel or whatever, like who cares? Just get it out, pay me, and I don't care. I wouldn't care. It's just a novel. It's like nothing, But this is a real life story. This is my life story. This is a real struggle of an ordinary person who was seeking for truth and meaning in life. I went through many places, many countries, many situations, and it was important to convey the message of seeking truth and being true to yourself. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it otherwise. It has to be done right. So right now. So, just say, okay? I'm sorry. Just say. I wanted to publish it the way I wrote it. It was important to me. So I said no, and we had a big fight because he invested a lot of money in it. And that was a very depressing situation, Here I am with $30, don't have enough to buy Pampers for my daughter, And I said basically to fame and riches at that time. I would be famous in Russia and money wouldn't be a problem. So it was a hard decision. It was kind of a mix. It was an easy decision in one way, and it's also a very difficult decision in another way, So that's how it went down, We had a big argument, and that's it. So after a while, it was hard, emotionally it was hard. After a while, my wife understood me later. She came in and said, I understand you, and I love you even more. So that was very important for me to hear that from her. That she truly understood why I said no to publication of this book. Considering that we needed money so much. Like, truly, underwater. So, and then I got, maybe a few months later, I talked to another guy and he said, okay, why don't you translate in English? You speak English. Translate it and publish it yourself. And I thought like, man, I feel so depressed about the whole situation, It's just like I don't have energy for that. I said, okay, I'll think about this. So I went, I did a few ceremonies by myself. Huachuma gave me energy, gave me inspiration. And I just said, okay, I'll do it exactly that. I'll translate myself and I'll publish it. I will never allow anyone touch my content again, under no circumstances. So I did that, translated, and then during this time it was so difficult financially. I didn't even have money to edit it. I need to edit the book. My English, it's my third language, and I never took a class. It's totally intuitive. It's intuitive. All my learning is intuitive. So I said, okay, somebody needs to take a look at that. But I didn't have even money to do this, So I had some help, some another person help and kind of review the book and just kind of corrected the English. It's not like professional editing. It just corrected the English, So I said, okay, that's good, And there was another woman also. I had like $300, and I said, hey, Rebecca, would you take $300 and just kind of take a look? And she said, yeah, okay. So it was like, you understand, They're both American, so it's their native language, so they corrected my language. It's okay, but they respect everything. Nothing was changed, and I read it after this like a few times, and I was happy with what I had because it was the way I wrote it, and I was ready to publish it. So I self-published it on Amazon. But first, before that, I think I published it first in Peru with a publisher. And that's the book that is published in Peru, because it's a special edition. It's a full color, 300 pictures of full color book, and it's unredacted, which means I wrote it exactly. There are sections in this book that are not on Amazon. On Amazon, it's a reduced version. I kept it only spiritual. Purely spiritual. I removed all the pyramid stuff and ancient archaeology that I was obsessed with, and ancient civilizations, and some touch of politics and where we're going in the future, and brain chips and stuff that we are seeing today. I was writing about this 13 years ago, and kind of what's happening in America, and you would say it's a controversial stuff that some people find very fascinating, and other people kind of find it disturbing. So I thought, okay, I have a full version and another book on Amazon that kind of a bit reduced version, but the whole story is there, everything is there, just less these few chapters, So this special edition you can buy on Amazon. It's only published in Peru, and I had a few thousands of them, and I have only left, I don't know, maybe a few hundreds. So that's it. That's like a collectible items now. Whoever buys, and I lost the file. I don't have the file. I think it's died with my old laptop. So this version will not be published again. I sell this, and that's it. The book on Amazon is still there, so you can go on Amazon, buy this Path Seeking Truth in the World of Lies, and get the story. The whole story is there. So what else should I share with you about this book? I can say that, as I said, like I don't have favorite books, but I think this book is dearest to me, and maybe because it's the first one, maybe because how it came about with so much struggle, with so much pain, with so much sacrifice, Yeah, I would say that this is the dearest book, and this is my life story. This is, it's who I am today, and who I was then. So I would say it might not be my favorite book, but it's probably my dearest book. I love this book as other books, but this is dearest. So, what else? Right now, I'm not sure what else to say, just share with you how it came about, what's in it. Yeah, what's in it is basically my life, my 12 and a half years in Ukraine, and then we immigrated to Israel, where I lived another 12 years. And then from there, I moved to California in search of spirituality. You know, sounds strange. You don't go to America to search spirituality. But you'll understand when you read the book. You'll understand what I mean by that. This is how I ended up in the cult, which was presenting itself like a spiritual school for awakening. And then from there, really, my search into shamanism became very real. Something I always wanted to do before, but I just didn't have this opportunity. I just couldn't do that. From where I was, from when I was, going to Mexico looking for Don Juan was just impossible. But it became possible from California, and I've done that. And I went to Mexico. I worked with ritual and peyote, and there are many chapters on that. And my shamanic initiation actually was there in Mexico through death. Nearly died there. And then Peru, and then moving to Peru too, and meeting my wife, and then starting our Huachuma Wasi, where we are right now. So I think it's a very important book actually for many people. For people who trapped in the cult, that's like a crucial book. It's not just important, that's just something you must read to help you liberate yourself from mind control. Because they're all the same, really. And I speak about this in the book. All cults are the same. They have only different clothing, maybe a little different terms, but the principles are the same. And when you recognize that, you're out of there. You free yourself. You understand that it's all deception, lies, mind control, and you can free yourself from that. I can help you free yourself, even through books. Of course, when we meet in person, we do medicine together and talk. That's like a whole other dimension to it. But even just by reading the book, I believe it can help you to leave a cult, a spiritual organization, whatever they call themselves. But anywhere where there is a leader and an inner circle and ideology and and all that, you know what I mean. So you can leave that. You can leave that behind in a good way, through understanding. Also for people who are looking for shamanic experience, for plant medicine, for a real experience, not a tourist commercial stuff, but a real shamanic experience that can actually change your life, change the way you think, change the way you see things. That would be very interesting to you, because I'm sharing my 3 years of working with Don Howard, who passed away a few years ago, but who have shown me a standard, high standard, and the gate to knowledge through Huachuma. And I love him still, will always love him. He was a great teacher, Rest in peace. Our 3 years of working together was very important and became a base really for the work I do now. So then peyote in Mexico, peyote in Arizona, and then of course ayahuasca, Huachuma here in Peru, and all that just brought me here to where I am today. So I think this book is important, like all of my books, because they're all written from a place of experience. I don't make really any claims that I know everything, and I just know what I know. I know my experience, I know my path, I know my questions, I know my answers, and that's what I share. If you find it to be helpful to you, I'll be very happy about this. So I think that's pretty much it. And I also think it would be respectful to other books to make video to each of them, for each of them, and refer people to it. So before buying the book, here is the video. You can see and feel, and then you can buy the book if you feel like. So there will be more videos in the coming week or two, whenever I have time between ceremonies, to really speak about every book, because they're all different and all important, and I wish you read all of them, because I truly believe that by reading my books you can change the way you see the world. You can actually shift your perspective just through my words and find a better, deeper understanding of many things. And of course, if you resonate with my words, it means that you're ready for the real experience. And it means that you will resonate with my person and with my medicine, because we are one. Me, my medicine, my words are one. The same guy you see now is the same guy you meet in Peru. If you like what I have to say and you feel the truth in it, that's mean you will feel the same way here, even more. We will be friends. And at the same time, if you start arguing with me in my books, then coming here is meaningless, because you will be arguing with me too, because it's the same person. So it's really for people who resonate with what I have to say, and that's it. If you resonate with what I have to say, you are welcome here for real deep shamanic experience that can show you so much about yourself, about the world, and truly heal you and guide you through life. You can find great clarity here, clarity that you need to live a better life. That's what I was looking for. I never came to the medicine for healing. I was perfectly healthy, mentally, physically, everything. I came here on a spiritual quest to find what is truth, to find clarity, to find guidance, to live my life right. Nobody is teaching you that. So this is what I found here, and this is what I share. This is what I share with people, helping you to find your truth and your path. This book was endorsed by Graham Hancock, a British author of many books on ancient archaeology and shamanism, respected intellectual and public speaker.